But today I just wanted to talk about environment and how important it is to be in an environment where you feel at peace, where you're able to ground yourself, come back to yourself. And for so long, I tried to find this sense of peace outside of myself through the environment, and just always trying to find a place where I belonged because I just growing up didn't have that peace without sharing many details. And that became my number one value, peace. And I tried to find it by moving 6 hours away from my home for most of my 20s. I lived in Los Angeles, and funny enough that's where I went to go find peace, but also because I studied broadcast journalism and film, and I decided to move out there to pursue a career in television, which I did for about 8 years. But I realized that peace was within myself, right? That I can find that sense of groundedness in me. And I do believe that environment is so important. And I don't know, just being here in this home that we bought, it's a 1940s home. It's a ranch style home. I think it's 1.4 acres of land, which is a lot to take care of. Like, our grass is dead, so it's been a lot of work during the summer to upkeep it, and we've not been doing a good job with that. But just being here now in this place that I call home, and having not only the environment that grounds me with my family, my husband, my son, but also having that sense of peace within myself has been so. I don't think we ever arrive because we're human beings. I don't think there's ever a time where we're just like fully our highest selves and, we're always peaceful, calm, at ease. Like, I definitely get stressed out moments. I definitely feel anxious from time to time, but being able to find that place in your home or that sense of peace, like within yourself and outside of yourself through your environment. People always say that environment is so important. Who you surround yourself with, the places that you go, just like your environment, right? And so one of the places that I find that sense of peace is my home. And it took us a few years to get this home, and we've been pouring into it little by little. So I kind of just wanted to share a day in the life of like what I do to upkeep the yard. So if you're into that, keep watching. But this is our patio area right here. And I haven't done really a good job of like upkeeping like all of our yard, but I'll show you just like a little glimpse of it, okay? So this is this is the backyard right here. My son slides right there. So that's like all fake grass, which makes it easier for me to upkeep. But if you see, there's like a lot of like leaves and stuff that I haven't really taken the time to clean up. So I need to do that. But anyways, right now I'm going to go ahead and clean the deck and just kind of talk about why I think having a place in your home to ground yourself is so important. I call this the yes space, like having a space in your home where you're just like, you either come back from a long day of work or it's been just like a rough time, and you could just sit down and be like, oh, I get to breathe for a second. I get to ground myself. There's a lot of places like that in my home. I do a lot of grounding techniques. One of those is just being in nature, just like allowing myself to not always feel like I have to go out and spend time with people, but just like pour into my home, right? But one of those places for me is this little area in my home. We have like a jacuzzi, which we haven't learned how to work a jacuzzi or clean it. So if you know, please let me know in the comments. Hi there. Oh my God. Hi everyone. Thanks for watching. Okay, so this area right here is usually where I come to journal. I'll show you right here. But I just come to journal in this space, which is where, I won't show you exactly where the jacuzzi is because I'm cleaning it, but yeah, I'm just gonna kind of take you guys through what it looks like to clean a home that is like, I think it's 1.4 acres. It's pretty big. It's a lot of responsibility to do yard work. So just bear with me. I'm gonna do it little by little. I guess we could take this as like a work with me. Maybe if you have something you need to do, you could just enjoy the quiet environment for 5 minutes as I clean. And you guys, if you guys have any questions about home ownership, environment, like groundedness, like this, I'm just going live to kind of just share a little bit about why I think it's important to find spaces in your home to ground yourself. I feel like I have a toddler, and for me, there's always something that needs to get done in the house. If it's not laundry or running my business or taking care of a little human. But I know that at the end of the day, I can always go to that space that I shared with you guys and just like take 5 minutes to journal there without like any interruptions, without any noises, just me and my journal. So let me know, is there any spots that you guys like, what is something that you do to ground yourself? Where in your home do you guys love spending time? Would love to know. This is like a really little room. This is so small. Okay, I probably need to go get a better one, so come with me if you'd like. So in our home, you could hear a lot of airplanes. It's like super loud. So I've been trying to find a place to like film my YouTube videos because I am trying to get monetized by the end of the year, which is kind of a crazy goal because I have not posted in months. But I figured that the time is now. So I'm just doing that year. So you guys can keep watching. That would be super helpful. But okay, let's talk environment. I feel like any of you guys agree that the world is like noisier, right? Like there's so much happening in our world. There's so much noise online of what other people are doing. And I don't know about you, but like when you're watching, like when you're not connected to your vision for your life, it's easy to like sway to something else. Like maybe you've always really wanted to, I don't know, write a book, right? And then you see your friends making YouTube videos and you're like, oh, I want to do that too. Or just think about something that it's almost like squirrel mind, right? You see something that someone has and you're like, oh, maybe I should be doing that. So for many years, I was doing that with my creativity. I felt like I would see someone starting something and I'm like, oh, I should be doing that because that's success, right? And slowly it started making me lose a sense of my own vision. Like, wait, what the heck do I want? Like, okay, Susie down the street is starting a bakery, but that doesn't mean I need to start one. Or Susie down the street started a Substack and I should start one today too, right? Like it gets really, really noisy. So for me, it's important to find the yes space. So for those who just hopped on, I like to create places in my home where it's almost like an anchor. An anchor is like your mind picks on something that's repetitive, right? It's like it grounds you. And so for me, I like to find spaces in my home that just ground me. And those are where I do either journaling, film my YouTube videos, just allow myself to have time with my own self and time to think and time to reconnect with my values and my vision and my who I am, who I want to be, not what I think I should be or what I should do because other people are doing it. I want to know, where are you guys from? Where are you guys checking in from? Would love to know. I I'm way too tall for these short rooms. Like I feel like I need something longer that allows me to do this. All right, I'm curious to know what kind of videos do you guys watch, in the sense of like what keeps you watching a YouTube channel? I've been really into minimalist channels and intentional living, which is why like I decided, what if I take them into a sneak peek of what it's like to have a home that has a huge yard, and it's like a lot of work. I might not take you through it all, but um, yeah, like I've been really wanting to make videos about like fixing my yard. We had a pond. It was like a 4-foot pond, but it was really dangerous because I have a toddler, and so we ended up taking it out, putting rocks, and I'll have to show you some fairy houses. It's super cool. It's just like a very magical place in our yard. So I'll show you after I finish cleaning the deck. I think it's pretty clean. What do you guys think? Yeah, it's pretty clean. It looks better than it did. All right, I'm gonna take you into these cool little fairy houses. So I was actually gonna throw them away, but I ended up keeping them. They're super cool. Look at these. Okay, look at these fairy houses. Like, should I keep them? Thumbs up if I should. There's probably a lot of spiders and bugs, as you guys could see. But they came with the house. And look at this cute little gnome. So we're kind of doing our little, we're going to end up planting some flowers here. But here, let me show you. So this is what we did with our yard. As you can see, they're a little outdated and old. So I'm going to end up painting them. But yeah, this is one of my yes spaces in my home. I love to come and sit in this chair, which is my toddler's chair. It's kind of small for me, but I fit here. But there used to be a pond here, and we ended up covering it. As you can see, there's all these rocks. So that's been really nice to not have to worry about, you know, my toddler falling in the pond. But as I was saying about environment, I really went through a place in my life where I was like trying to run away from my environment and didn't find that peace within myself. And so it's so important, like, to be able to understand what brings peace into your life. And yes, one of those are environment, but also what are you trying to run away from within yourself? And I have this, like, I don't want to say balance, because I definitely still deal with self-doubt and fear, and really feeling frustrated at times where I don't feel like I'm exactly where I want to be in my life. Like, we bought this 1940s home and I'm so happy and grateful that we have it. And at the same time, there's like so many things that we need to fix. I did not know that being a homeowner like was going to be, I mean, I obviously knew it was going to be expensive, but I didn't know that there's all these like hidden fees that you have. Like, we had our deposit and then we had all these other like small print fees that I was like, oh, I didn't know we had to have that. And I don't even remember because it's been a few months since we got our home, but it was so stressful. And even when we like got the home, we realized when they did the like the inspection that there was a roof that now needs to be fixed within like the next 3 years, which fixing a roof can be really, really pricey. And then there's something about like, there was like mold in one of our bathrooms, but it wasn't bad, thankfully, because that would be really insane. Like, I have seen videos where people buy a home and there's like mold everywhere in their home and they have to like move out and the house is basically like not livable. So there were just a lot of like moments where I'm like, is buying a really old home a good idea? Now I understand why people buy those new build homes, because you don't really have to stress out about these things. This home was built somewhere in the 1940s. I don't remember exactly, but it's definitely an interesting layout. Like, it just feels very like it was back in the farm days, like where now we have houses around, we live in the suburbs, but it just kind of gives, like, me and my husband, we're such city sleekers, is that the right terminology? But me and my husband, we've been living in my husband, he lived in like the San Francisco area, and then I lived in Los Angeles, and then I lived in downtown Modesto, shout out to Modesto. And then we moved to like a city where we lived 2 minutes away from a Trader Joe's. We lived near coffee shops and stores. And so everything was accessible. The train to go to other cities was accessible. And now we live in like middle of nowhere suburbia. And so when we moved out here, or when we were touring this home, we're just like, wait, like, are we ever going to see people? It's funny because our friends laugh at us. We kept calling it that we live in the countryside, and they're like, dude, you do not live in the countryside, you live in the suburbs. But it just feels very country living because it is in the middle of nowhere, and the amount of responsibilities we have to take care of this land, it's like, I feel like online people make the whole like living in the farm and having a garden so easy and whimsical. Like, you just wake up with makeup, you're wearing a dress, and you have your little basket, and you're like picking up apples, and it's just like, oh, my hands never get dirty. No, it's not like that, okay? Like, me and my husband are out here every Sunday picking up weeds, or every other Sunday, and just like pouring into our home, because if we don't clean it within 1 week, it gets like this. Here, I'll show you. So this is like all of the rubbish we have. And I see like our grass died. Grass, right? And then you would think these leaves are easy to blow, like with the blow leaf dry, whatever, the blow, I don't know what it's called, but it actually takes so much time. But again, I'm so grateful for the space. Let's go back in to the fairyland. Oh, I wanted to show you one thing. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. So these are roses, and as you can see, they're dead. For the first 3 months of our home, like, I kept these up. We have white roses, we have pink roses, and we have red roses. But as you can see, they just grew like wildfire, and I haven't like made the time to just lift them up, cut them up. So that's something we want to do, but we have a toddler, so I really just need to like prioritize. This is like one of those projects that, like, it looked so beautiful, guys, in the beginning, but as you can see now, it's fallen apart. So I'm curious to know how you guys found my channel, whoever's watching. Would love to know that. So the reason that I am on live is I'm trying to test out what happens when I show up for myself without overthinking, without caring about who is on this other side of the screen, and just allowing myself to express myself, to create, to show up for myself. But a bigger reason for this video, why I'm posting this video, is I was just thinking about the importance of having peaceful spots in your home. So my husband and I, we are new parents, and I remember when we lived in an apartment, we didn't have much space. Like, we shared a bedroom with our newborn. Our two dressers were in this like tiny little space. We shared our closet with our son. We had our luggages. It was basically like tiny Home Central in a little like small apartment. But because I had a place that was my own, like I had my yes space where I would romanticize life and just like light a candle, and my Bible and my journal were in one specific spot. When I needed to wind down and it was time for my husband to take care of our son, I had a spot to come home to, meaning home to myself, like where I can ground myself, listen to my own voice after a full day of hearing a baby cry and a full day of maybe potentially scrolling or hearing outside opinions and noise. And having that spot that just anchored me every single day postpartum really helped me love motherhood. I feel like a lot of people, and I feel like this video, I just kind of went live to show you guys me cleaning my yard, but I feel like a lot of the times I haven't experienced like postpartum depression, and I feel like there's so many different reasons why people experience that, so I can't talk about that, but I know my experience after motherhood was having this like peaceful presence, and I really give credit for the environment that I created. Not just where I live, but the environment within myself, like giving myself time to feel my emotions in my body, giving myself time to pause and anchor myself, and the people that I surround myself, right? Postpartum, and he has been so helpful during this entire experience of being a parent. And I really do believe that when you surround yourself with good people, when you make peace within yourself, because you give yourself time to pour into the emotional, spiritual, physical, I talked about this in my last live, you have this like sense of peace and groundedness in yourself, despite of like what's going on in the world or around you. We've had a lot of losses in my family this year, and it's really unfortunate. And at the same time, like, I have found this sense of peace in knowing that like that is life is. Like, a lot of my uncles and aunts have been passing away, and my mom is like now the matriarch of her family. And to just know that like my mom is, aging, and soon enough, like if life works in a way where she leaves this earth first, like I'm gonna have to experience that loss. And it used to like shake my entire world just thinking about it. Like, I would literally be in tears just thinking about that right now. But I have found this sense of peace in knowing that, like, accepting that that's how life is. And obviously I know that grief is gonna come with that, but I can find peace in the presence because of how I ground myself in my environment, with the people I surround myself with myself. And so I was sharing earlier on in the live, the one way that I do that is being outside. Like, there's so much that is happening in my home right now. My friend's actually with my baby and her baby, one of my best friends. And I was like, can I step outside to just make a live? And like, I looked at my house, and my house is organized, like my kitchen, my living room, but I'm like, laundry is sitting in one of my chairs. But I needed time to like ground myself, and I took some time to myself, and now I'm filming this video. But I was just thinking, like, oftentimes we're like caught up in the rat race in the day-to-day, and we don't allow ourselves to just like time to just breathe. And whatever practice is going to help you ground yourself, maybe that's journaling, maybe that's just like lighting a candle and like drinking. Oh, speaking of drinking, I have a Coke Zero that I was like craving. Maybe it's just like lighting a candle, drinking your favorite drink that handcrafted that you love to make. I love to call these magical drinks. I love making cacao. I haven't found like a homemade recipe, but I had bought in some cacao, and I love just to like make the cacao, journal, turn on a candle, anchor myself, and allow myself to just be. And another thing that I love to do is just like sit outside, and I don't know, it's been such a blessing to be able to get this home, and it feels like a lot of work. It feels overwhelming because we got such a like there's so much, I mean, just like you could see that there's like so much greenery here. And if you watched the live earlier, we had a pond and we filled it up, and there's just like a lot of work to do. But at the same time, like, I just find ease out here, and I just work on my yard little by little. But anyways, I'm gonna give you guys a tour because I feel like that's what I named the video. So I'm not gonna like show my entire home, but I'll show like little glimpses that are very magical and just take you along with me. Okay. Whoops. Okay. So okay. So I wanted to become a gardener during the summer, but again, having your yard, it is like, it requires effort and time, and I'm all about putting effort and time. Clearly, I'm showing up on YouTube trying to get monetized in the next 6 months, and just show up and just be myself and talk about whatever I want and see who sticks around. I know what hard work is, and I also know priorities. So I had basically a newborn. He just turned, well, he's going to be 2 actually in October. Wow, time flies when you have a kid. You like really notice that. But I was like, okay, we just bought a home. We have to fix certain things. It is a bit of an older home. So having a garden, a vegetable garden, the first year is just not it. But I did plant some things. And one of these are they were wildflowers. They just came in like a wildflower packet that I got at a wedding. But I'm pretty sure these are cosmos. Look how huge they are. Do you see how big that is? That's insane. Like, these were seeds. They were little seeds. Then they turned into like 1 inch, 2 inch, and now look at them. They didn't bloom because I planted them in the spring, and in the spring they were a little shorter. So I'm hoping by next summer they're gonna have flowers, because I think these are annuals. And then over here, I have planted some thyme, which is almost dead, but it's still surviving. And this one was pretty like alive until it wasn't. So I'm kind of sad about this, but this is basil. So literally this was the only stuff that I planted during the move-in. Because I was like, I really want to be a garden whimsical person. Like, I want to be that girl. But I didn't get a chance to plant too many things intentionally. So this channel is a lot about living an intentional life. And one of the things that I have given myself permission to do is to not overwhelm myself with trying to do everything in one season. Like, you don't have to have the baby, buy the home, plant the garden, start the business all in one season. Like, chill, Rebecca. If you're a Rebecca and you're watching this, I'm not trying to call you out, but like, you, again, don't have to do everything all at once. And as much as I wanted to pour into this home, like, financially, we had to prioritize what was the most important for us. And that was covering the pond, because we had a 4-foot pond and I have a toddler, so that wasn't going to work out. And then eventually, within like the next 3 to 4 years, we hope that we can get a new roof because it's good now, but it's definitely not. It's like, I think it's more than 20 years. So we definitely need to get a new roof. But if you're watching this video and you're like, what the hell? How does she have a home? Like, I wish that I had a home. Like, me and my husband were in the same position a year ago. We were afraid of buying a home. My husband is the one who makes the most money, and for a while, like, I have my own business, but I was thinking that I had to go part-time after being full-time. I'm staying home now, and we looked at our savings and we're like, oh, is it smart to buy a home? And a lot of what was holding us back was fear, and obviously like financial reasons. But when we like sat down, we're like, okay, the thing that is stopping us is we feel that like buying a home is already expensive. And then you have to buy a home and then you think you need to fill it up, but you don't. Like, again, it goes back to you don't have to do everything all at once. And this is why this entire I've been talking about like environment and grounding yourself. The reason is when you ground yourself in like what is most important to you and what matters most to you, you're not thinking about what everyone else is doing or what you should be doing, right? Like you focus on what can we do with our means? What can we do in this season of our lives? So me and my husband knew going into it that like buying a home was such a risk and it was so out of our comfort zone and we were afraid, and we didn't have to install the roof, buy the furniture. Like our home is completely empty. I'm not going to give you a tour of that, but inside of my home or like the full picture, but it's like empty. We have one table from Facebook Marketplace and we have some benches, and then we installed blinds and closet rods because we didn't have closet rods. Our closets were like empty holes. So we installed like shelves and that was it. Like we were like, I guess the dresser and the furniture for our bedrooms and the guest bed and the couch for our living room is going to have to wait. Like there's just things that are going to have to wait, and that's totally fine. And it just takes me back to life, right? Like there are things in your life that you can do right now and other things that are simply going to wait, not because they're not available to you, not because you can't have them, but priorities, right? And so I've learned to just prioritize what is most important and ground myself in gratitude and like, what can we do, right? Not based on what other people. I was talking to a friend and there was a lot of noise out there about this. I'm not going to name the program, but there was a program a content creator was selling, and I wanted to buy it because I felt like that would be the thing that would help me like really kick off my entire business and social media content. And it was almost like that was the thing that was just going to change my entire life, right? And I was like, I need to buy it. And I had posted something about wanting to buy it, but I wanted to get people's like feedback on like what they thought about the course. And a friend was like, you know, it's only, I'll just make up a number because I don't want to say the exact price, but it was like, it's only $1,000. And I was like, okay, it was way less than that. But it's like, after I thought about it, I'm like, the only reason I wanted to get it is because everybody else was doing it, not because I truly needed it. I felt like if I didn't have this thing, I would be falling behind. And like, how often does that happen to us, right? Like we think we need the thing, and if we don't have it, we're going to fall behind. Well, I need the house by the time I'm 35 or I'm going to fall behind. Or I need the relationship because everyone else in my life has the relationship, right? Or I need to make a certain amount of money because everyone around me makes that amount of money, right? Versus like grounding ourselves in like, what is our dream life? What do we need? What do we want to create in our life? And so going back to the course that I really wanted to buy, I was like, I don't need this. It's only an excuse because I feel like having the thing would almost make me feel like I'm doing something when I have like everything that I need to just live a very happy, content life. Anyways, I don't know where I was going with this, but all that to say, we live very intentionally. And so even having a home, being homeowners, does not mean that we've like fully arrived. Like, I mean, that's a huge deal. I want to give credit to that. Like being a homeowner is a big thing. And we know that what I'm trying to say is we know how to live below our means, and we know what we need and what we can't do right now. But just because we can't do it right now doesn't mean it's not going to happen one day. Our priority was buying the home, and now just like upkeeping it and pouring into it with what we can do, like painting it, cleaning the yard, which I did a pretty good job at cleaning the deck earlier in this video. But anyways, I just wanted to leave you with the importance of creating an environment in your space. Have a space that even if your entire house feels chaotic and there's laundry on a chair, that is true story in my home. There's like a pile of laundry in one of our chairs. you have a space that you can come back to and just ground yourself. For me, that's my yard, even when it looks messy and or when it still needs some cleaning. Just find that space. Maybe it's like a corner in your couch and you have like your journal next to it. Or maybe it's just like a corner in your kitchen where you make your coffee every morning, or what I like to call a magical drink. And just drinking your coffee, pouring some time into yourself, and allowing yourself to listen to the voice within you before you allow the noise and the chaos of the world to get into your head, or even just the comparison, right? I should be doing that. I should have this. I should have a home by now, whatever. Like, allow yourself to have that yes space so that you can listen to your voice and reconnect to your vision. That's the importance of creating a yes space environment in your home. So anyways, give this video a thumbs up if you didn't watch it live and you decided to watch some of it. And I'm going to head out and enjoy the rest of my evening.